Hello and welcome back to my channel, guys. I have not filmed a video in literally over 9 months. I now have a baby. I was pregnant and I don't know, I just lost all ambition and I just did not bother doing any videos. So I wanted to do a video finally today, and I did it on the Blendiful from Tati Beauty that we've been hearing so much about. A lot of videos. I've been hearing a lot of positive reviews on this, so I wanted to give it a try myself and see what my thoughts were. So if you want to see what I think of the Blendiful, keep watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe for sure. Help me keep getting those subscribers up. I know I've been back for a while, but I'm gonna try and get on here and start doing some weekly videos. We'll see how that goes. It's hard when you have a new baby. He is 6 weeks old right now. He's in the back. I don't know if you can see. He's like in his little swing. You can see the swing going. He's in his swing right now. So yeah, like the video, subscribe, and keep watching if you want to see my thoughts of the Blendiful. All right, so this is the packaging. I already peeled it open. I really like the packaging. I think it's really simple and cute, although I think it would be great if there was like a little Ziploc thing at the top here, so when you rip it off, you could put them back in here if you wanted and zip it back up. But whatever, no big deal, but I think it's cute. It's got your cleaning instructions on the back. Basically, you can machine wash it gentle or hand wash it. So it'll be interesting to see, you know, how many times you can use this before it starts, you know, I don't know whether it's like the fabric is coming apart or whatnot. So inside you get the big one and the little one. They both are made out of the same material, different colors, different shapes. This one's pretty big. You can see it compared to like the size of my head, whereas this is the little one. They both have this little ribbon on it to stick your fingers in to help apply. This one, as people have said, is not as thick as this one. They're both still really squishy and bendable, but this one is just not quite as thick as this one. So anyway, I'm curious to see. It hasn't been washed or anything. I'm just using it straight out of the package. I have seen pictures where some people have said the fuzzies have come off onto their face. So we'll see what happens. I'm super curious. I don't typically use primer, so I'm gonna skip that step. I'm just gonna go ahead and go in with my Estee Lauder Double Wear. Now I'm wondering if I should, you know, put it on my hand, pat it, and then start going like that, or what? I think I'm gonna use the more rounded side, and I'll save this for concealer. So I'm gonna pour it on my hand like I would with a sponge application. Get some on my hand. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead. I'm curious. Okay, I've got some on there. Let's see, I'm gonna be looking in my mirror how this applies. I'm gonna kind of do combinations of like sweeping and patting. So far, it just feels soft, I guess. Now, personally, I think if you sweep, you get streaks. Of course, my baby wants to make noise when I'm coming back and doing my first video. So I basically used up everything on the sponge, so you do get the application onto the face. It's not like absorbing it. So this is what one kind of like application looks like. Let me show you guys zoomed in what I mean, like if you do streaks. Do you see? I personally would not do the sweeping motion because look at my chin. Definitely padding is how I would do it. I usually always get it down my neck, but I'm thinking padding is the way to go. I just want to see if it lifts at all. I'm like pushing. Lift it. Let's see if it lifts. I have my layer foundation on. What do we think? I think padding is definitely the way to go. Not going like this, because you will get streaks. I think my wet sponge absorbs it, because I'm looking in the mirror and I do think my foundation looks a little more cakey. It looks a more thick. This I don't think is absorbing my product at all. So the sponge I think absorbs a little bit and it makes it appear a little less cakey. So I do think it looks a little cakier than usual, but it's Estee Lauder, you know, I know it's full coverage, but maybe take that into consideration. All right, let's go in with concealer and see how products blend on top of each other. I'm gonna use NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer here. And we will see what happens. I'm gonna put a little on my forehead, a little on my nose. Okay. A little brightness. I'm gonna take a little bit of Tarte Shape Tape in a lighter color. Just adding a little bit to that one. I'm gonna take the foundation corner to blend out these areas. I'm gonna pat again. Added everything in. I'm gonna now turn it over to this more corner. I'm gonna try and do concealer now. Let's see what happens. I'm kind of like bending it around my finger like this. You can really get into the corner of your eye, which is nice because it's so bendy. You can just smush it in there. All right, so this is what it's looking like. I think it blended that okay. Let's go in and set the eyes before those crease on me. I'm going to use the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Eye Powder. Get out the creases. Use the same exact corner, dip it in there. Let's see what happens. I'm going to take the powder and just rub it on the lid to set that. Okay. So we've put the powder on. Got that. Let's take I'm not gonna set the face yet because I'm going to try and cream contour. I'm gonna go in with the Huda Beauty. This is my first time using it, so let's hope for the best. I'm using shade Light. So, I think the interesting part is trying to figure out how do you want to bend this. Hard because I already got stuff here and I would have liked to have used the same shape again. But maybe I can. Let's see what happens if, you know, I'm mixing stuff up. I take a little bit of this Huda. Ooh, I'm scared. I'm gonna pass them off on my hand so I'm not going in too crazy. Let's see. I think Tati said do like rolling. And we'll do some rolling. We'll do some padding. I don't know how quick this stuff dries, that's why I'm kind of going in between the sides. I'm just gonna continue to pat so I know it's blended. What do you think? Does it look too blotchy? I'll take a little bit that was on my hand and I'm just kind of stamping it on the side of my nose. barely anything on it. Oh, I like it for that, for sure. Do a little under the lip as well. I'm gonna do a little dippy just so we can warm this up a little bit, because I don't want just the cheeks contour, nothing up here. I don't do a lot because I have a small forehead. Just kind of want to make sure everything is matching. Alright, I think the side that I didn't first apply that had less product blended better. We'll clean that line up with powder. I don't think it looks blotchy at all. This is what we're looking like. I don't see any, like, you know, skipping or anything like that. I have to clean that up because I think it came down too low. Here, I'm looking in my mirror. Yeah, it doesn't look like anything is getting picked up. You know, like the more I use it, it's picking up product that I've already laid down. So it seems to be working. Okay, I'm gonna take some, let's carve this area out. I do a little bit more sweeping on this area because I don't really see that as much. This is interesting for, woo, carving out that jawline. They're having a baby, we gotta cover up this double chin till we lose some pounds. I really like it for literally just going like this and getting a nice application, but let's make sure it's blended. We don't want any weird lines. Yeah, I like this Huda Beauty. I think it blended nicely for sure. All right, let's set the rest of the face. I'm gonna use a pressed powder this time. I used loose for the under eyes. I'm gonna go in Charlotte Tilbury in the medium powder. And let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and use this corner here we haven't really touched yet. I'm gonna rub it around. And let's start patting this powder into my face. Get my nose, get my forehead. Now the Estee Lauder sets really good on its own, so you don't need tons of powder. I haven't used this powder before either. I've been trying a lot of new products and I've heard really good things. We've set the face. Great, it didn't like put a blob in one spot or anything like that. It seems to be setting nicely. I'm looking in the camera, I think my face does look flawless. Very full coverage, for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and take a translucent powder to bake a little bit. This is the Givenchy powder. I'm just gonna go ahead with like one of these corners here, dip it in. Really nice for doing a bake. Oh, by the way, I put blush and highlighter on off camera. This is the Jaclyn Hill highlight palette. Yeah, this is really nice for baking. You can just use the angle and just get a really nice line. All right, let me let that set for a minute. I'm gonna brush it off and I'll be back in a minute. Last thing I'm gonna do is set these powders with a spray and then pat the spray in. I'm just gonna take the side where I used foundation. Just push the powder and liquids together. Is that lifting at all? You don't want any. This is what the sponge is looking like. You could have potentially used this side if you wanted because it's the same exact fabric. Patting the wet in, I did get a fuzzy right there. Can you guys see it? So I did get a little fuzzy from this. That's the only one I see though. So I didn't get a lot of fuzzies, but that's one little fuzzy I did get. I'll definitely use it a few more times to get like a better idea of my thoughts on it, but I don't have any major complaints. You get both for $18, which I think is a great price since the Beauty Blender is $20. Wash it, I'll put in the description box down below how it washed. I did see a video where someone's had torn on the side, so I'm gonna wash it. I'll see how long it takes to dry, and I'll put that information in the description box down below. So my final thoughts, guys, on this would be holy cake face. If you are wanting that full coverage look, this is for sure the product for you. This is what it looks like after I used it. I used this one sponge for my foundation, my concealer, cream contour, and powders. I would say that it worked well. I liked that I could bend it, you know, and kind of get in the under eye really well and things like that. What else? I mean, it put everything on fine. As I showed you, I didn't recommend it for swiping. I definitely think it's more of a patting motion product. As I'm looking into my mirror, the products they do look flawless, I have to say. I do think I look a little bit more airbrushed, if you want to use that term, because I think it really helps push the stuff into your face. On the same hand, it looks more cakey because this I don't think absorbed like any of my products. It's crazy. I'm like pulling it up like this and I'm not seeing like foundation caked in there or anything like that. So it definitely does not suck up a lot of your products, that's for sure. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I feel like we've seen a lot of videos already. It worked well. The sponge absorbs more products, the wet sponge. So I didn't use any more product than I normally do. So it's definitely this that applied it more full coverage. Let me know what your thoughts are if you've used it. You know, I still have like baby brain. I literally like can't think. I'm like sitting here like, did I mention everything? I just can't even think. So anyway, guys, that's my thoughts on the sponge. Comment down below, subscribe, and like this video. And tell me your thoughts if you've tried the sponge out. All right.